Boy, as a whiskey drinker, I don't know if there's a better day than when you get a package that you have to sign for and be over 21. But that day just came for me. Let's find out what's in the box next on the Whiskey Tank. Hi, I'm Joe. Welcome to the Whiskey Tank. If this is your first time checking out the channel, welcome. If you're a return viewer, thanks for stopping back over and checking out another episode. We've got a really fun one today. I got a package from Bardstown Distillery. So I got an email and said, hey, here's tracking information. We're sending you over a package with a couple of bottles. The bottles are very exciting. At least for me, they're very exciting. Let's get into this. I'm only going to do a review of one today, and then I'll do another review with the second bottle in it, and you guys will have to tune back in for that one. But let's get into the first bottle. Just take a look at the packaging though. All right, so let's just notice that. I mean, this box just feels high quality. There's a nice little message on the inside, and it says, this fall, Bardstown Bourbon Company pushes the boundaries with 2 releases to showcase innovation in entirely different ways. Our 2026 discovery highlights the art of blending through layered combination of aged premium bourbon finishes, rare Garyana oak, bringing added depth, spice, and structure. Alongside it, a blend of premium whiskey was finished in ex-bourbon and ex-sherry cask, sourced from the Isle of Hura, imparting subtle smoke and dried fruit shaped by cask of Scotch whiskey history. 2 distinct releases, 2 different approaches. There's nowhere we won't go. Bardstown Bourbon Company. So I mean, that's just pretty cool. So we've got a couple bottles here to get into. The bottle we're gonna do today is the Discovery 2026. I had to take a second look when I saw this bottle just to make sure it was what I thought it was. This, in fact, is the Disco 14. So they changed the look of the bottle, they've added some art on it, and they've changed the way that it's being labeled. Some of you might recall the Discovery series and how they used to label it. And it was basically Discovery Series is what it was called, and then they had the series number, and this one, for instance, series number 13 that I picked up last year when I went down and did a tour of the distillery. And so the most recent release of these have all been hits. I mean, starting with the 11 was fantastic, the 12 was great, the 13 I really like because I like double barreled, and that's what this is. And it sounds like we're going down the right path with this latest release too, because this is finished in really kind of elusive to use Garyana oak. So they have a Distillery Reserve series like this Hokkaido that I have, which is finished in Mizunara oak, which is also one of those exclusive oaks that you can't harvest. So you have certain wood that you just can't go down and cut down a tree and make a barrel out of. The only way that you can harvest these trees is from when the tree falls down, or specialized harvesting that they do, basically because it's for the health of the grove. So they might harvest some trees for that, but it's not like you're just going in and cutting down these trees. So the Japanese Mizunara oak that's used in this Hokkaido release is several hundred years old. So they also had the Cathedral release, which was finished in barrels that were made from 300-year-old wood from the forest surrounding Notre Dame. So when they had to do repairs to Notre Dame when it caught fire, they were able to harvest some of that wood, and they used some of that wood to make barrels, and that's where they did the Cathedral finish. And then you also had the Cascade, which is the Garyana oak, like is used in this year's release of Discovery. But we could talk about the whiskey all day, but let's go ahead and get this bottle out of this beautiful box. So the artwork on this box looks like it was done by Margaret Archibald. So I'm not sure if I'm saying Miss Archibald's name right, but that's the best pronunciation that I'm gonna do, and it's probably gonna get worse after I have a couple sips of whiskey, so I wanted to go ahead and try to get that out now. But I mean, this bottle is absolutely beautiful. It really is. And they changed a lot about the look of it, but one thing that they didn't change, and I'll put a picture of it up on screen so you guys can see it, is they're completely transparent with the mash bills of the whiskey that they use, as well as the age and the area that the whiskey came from. So I really like that they do that. Not every place does that. Now, they probably have NDAs with the different distilleries, so they can't really release where that whiskey is from, but I can go ahead and give you my best guess on it. So it looks like we've got 55% of Indiana 10-year-old bourbon, and it's 75-21-4. That's going to be an MGP. And then it's 25% of Kentucky 11-year-old whiskey. That's 74-18-8. So more than likely that's Barton, so 1792. Oh, and it's 20% of 7-year-old Kentucky whiskey with a mash bill of 74, 16, 10. Now that 10 is for malted barley. If it was for wheat, then I would say more than likely it's probably Heaven Hill, because that's what they use in that square 6 that they had. But it's not. It's malted barley, so I don't know where that's from. If you know where that's from, go ahead and drop a comment in. Let me know what your best guess is, because I don't have any guess whatsoever. I do know that they've used that certain mash bill in some of their other releases, but I don't know for sure. All right, let me tell you a little bit more about this bottle. This information is pulled right from their website. So it's 112.8 proof. Bardstown Bourbon 2026 Discovery blends 3 bourbons aged 7, 10, and 11 years, which were then rested for 4 months in Garyana oak barrels. Each barrel was custom made and hand toasted for 3 hours by Oregon Barrel Works to unlock additional layers of spice and complexity. Summer aging was chosen for maximum extraction, and the whiskey was then gradually proofed before bottling. That's what the official release is. I haven't seen anything come out so far on doing a review of this, so these opinions are 100% my own. This also is a fresh crack, so it could be a little bit different, and time can change everything, but this is what I'm getting out of this today. But I've found with some whiskeys, after they open up a little bit, it kind of adds to, or in some cases actually takes away from the flavor of the whiskey. So only time will tell, but I'm going to go ahead probably and add this into a blind against that Disco 13 and kind of see how it holds up against last year's release. But for now, I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts about what this whiskey is like. All right, guys, enough talk about it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, so let's get in it. Let's see how that cork pop is. And if I remember something about Bardstown, is they use synthetic corks, which I love. But let's get that cork pop. Off to a good start. I love a good cork pop like that, and synthetic cork. That's a beautiful thing. Let's get a little of this whiskey in this glass. Absolutely beautiful color on this. It is a definite dark reddish amber that I'm getting on this. And I'm going to give this a little bit of a just messing up around in the glass, kind of move it around a little bit, and I want to kind of form a line at the top of the glass here so we can see what kind of legs this whiskey has. So I'm going to roll it in there and just kind of let it start coming down. As far as the legs go, this has got what I like to see. There's a real prominent line at the top of where I rolled this whiskey, which means that it's holding up there, which is showing that it's pretty thick and viscous, which is kind of an indication that it's going to have a good mouthfeel for this whiskey. It's 112.8 proof, so it's got some definite proof on it, but it's not so high. It kind of sits in that pocket. I like that pocket for whiskey to be in, like 107 to 115 proof, so you can kind of get the most out of what the whiskey's bringing as far as flavor, but you're not overpaying a tax of proof on that. So I like a high proof whiskey, I really do, but sometimes I don't like to have to fight through that proof to find out what's in the glass. As this whiskey starts coming down the glass now and forming those legs, you can see that it's causing it to have little beads at the top, right? And so these little beads are usually a really good indication that the surface tension on the whiskey is strong enough to hold it together, that even though gravity's trying to pull it down, it's still keeping some of it held up there in those little tight beads. And I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it's almost like a candle waxing going down. It's a good looking whiskey, so it's off to a good start as far as the actual legs go on the glass and the whiskey. But let's go ahead and see how this is on the nose. There's no question whatsoever that this is a toasted whiskey. I mean, it's just right there. You can get that wood smoke on here. There's some kind of a fruit in here too. I'm not saying it's full on raisin like a double oaked or anything like that, but it's definitely it's in that family. There's a dark like fruit on the nose for me. I'm getting almost like a little bit of a touch of cinnamon on it too. So there's something else going on as far as like a spice in this. And none of those mash bills are extremely high rise, so I don't know where that spice comes from. Maybe that's got to be coming from the oak, I would think. It's not overproofed. It's not over oaked, although I can get that nice oak, those expressions of oak from that toastedness. It's not over oaked. It doesn't smell bitter to me. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this on the palate and see how it is. Immediately, the first thing I get is like, if you have like a creme brulee and you get that layer of that caramelized sugar on the top that crystallizes, right? So it gets that nice hard layer on there, and then you crack it with a spoon. It's making my mouth salivate. and you get like those little crumbles of sugar. Like it's almost like almost like a salt consistency for sugar, where it's like just breaking down, where it's not like little sugar crystals, but it's almost like a powdery, like a crumbly, gritty sugar. That's what this is like. So I'm getting that immediately across my entire tongue. My tongue dries out almost immediately from this whiskey, but it's in a good way. It drinks to me older than what the age is of the whiskey. So we're looking at, I think it's 11, 10, and 7 as the years of the whiskey in here. This is drinking older for me. It's drinking almost like a 14 or 15-year-old whiskey, because I'm getting that drying effect from the oak. And that could be just the extra time spent in that Garyana oak, maybe where it's causing that. It's pleasant though. I do like that. I like that from a whiskey when it's doing that, but not bringing bitterness, because it's easy to get that drying effect, but it usually comes with attacks of being bitter as well. I'm getting zero bitterness with this. I am getting a little hint of that cinnamon on the palate too, but it's mainly, drinks almost like a double oak. So I'm getting like some of those darker fruit flavors with this, and definitely that oak toastiness and the smokiness. It's similar to like what King Ranch was, but nowhere near that level of smoke intensity. So it's almost got like some of that smolderiness to it, like a Scotch or something, but it doesn't cross that line to where it becomes unpleasant for me. It's really walking a nice path. Let me go ahead and get a second sip. That nose is so toasted. I mean, it is 100%, I mean, just campfire smokiness on it, where it's just like that beautiful char wort, but it's still light and subtle. So it's not like going to an extreme to where it's like, you know, where you're like the smoke's chasing around the campfire. It's just got that subtle hint, like marshmallowiness, like you're starting to burn a marshmallow, but you haven't quite burnt it yet. You're just getting into that cusp, right? But all right, let's go ahead and get a sip. Is extremely pleasant for me. I think that this is going to open up a little bit more in time, like most whiskeys do. My initial take on this, it's different enough that it creates interest, and that interest makes me want to go back more and explore, because there's some layers. It's complex, and what the flavor profile is, it's not a one-trick pony for me. I'm starting to get some fruit flavors in there. I'm not able to really kind of narrow it down. They taste like darker fruits to me, but there is a little hint of that cinnamon, and that toasted oak just comes through. I mean, it's just right there. There's a smokiness with this that's really pleasant. I don't get any bitter effect. The mouthfeel on this is very good. It tastes really viscous to me. It doesn't taste thin in any way whatsoever. It's got a nice coat to it. Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this changes and develops a little bit in time now that the bottle's opened up, and how it compares against some of their other recent offerings that they put out, because they put out some really good whiskey in the last few years. So I kind of want to see how this holds up against that. So my initial thought on this, super interesting, smoky, fun whiskey, and I definitely would recommend picking up a bottle of this, especially if you like those toasted flavors, and that if you're an oak fan. If you're an oak fan, you're gonna like this. If you're not an oak fan, it might not be your bag, but I am an oak fan, so I like this. That's all I can kind of put on this for a stamp. Guys, thanks for stopping by and checking out this episode. Make sure to check out some other ones. If you haven't done that cool thing yet, you know, subscribing and clicking that bell and doing all that stuff, you're gonna want to. Also, I kind of want to remind you guys, I'm getting pretty close to 1,000 subscribers, which is a milestone that I want to celebrate. And so to celebrate that milestone, I'm going to be sending one of you this bottle. And I think that this is a very good entry bottle for folks that want to kind of like just start building a selection of whiskey in their house. So I wanted to be able to provide that bottle out to somebody. So I'm going to put details about how you can enter to win this bottle. But the first thing you got to do is subscribe, because once I get up to that 1,000 subscriber, I'm going to go ahead and put out the information on how you can enter to win this bottle, and I'm going to send it to you. Now, this is the first of many giveaways that I plan on doing here on the channel to kind of celebrate different milestones as we hit them. And so I wanted to say thank you by sending this one out first, and I think that this is a good bottle to get started with, this Bottle and Bond E.H. Taylor small batch. So make sure you enter. Well, I just want to say thank you again to the folks over at Bardstown Bourbon for sending over and sharing that whiskey with me so I could bring this review to you. It was a lot of fun to do, and like I said, they sent me another bottle. I'm going to be dropping that one here in a few days to let you know what I think of that other release that they have, but it should be fun. So make sure you do subscribe and click that notification so you don't miss any videos coming out. And until then, cheers from the Whiskey Tank.